I said, baby, you're mighty sweet. Oh yeah, but I'm bad with making feet. Yeah, totally. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to here. Today we're going to talk about something, all right? We're going to talk about just how the major scales, excuse me, fit into the CAGED system. Okay? We're ready to go. Let's do it. Yeah. So the major scales, maybe you've heard about the major scales being, part of the CAGED categories, but what does that mean? I'll tell you. And so I have a whole CAGED playlist, okay? I'll link it down below. And if you watch the rest of the videos, you'll see just how the CAGED system is one unit, okay? How it all collides in together, And so as a refresher, the CAGED system is an organizational system we use to organize all of our musical structures into 5 CAGED categories. And those CAGED categories all stem from the C, A, G, E, and D major chord shapes in their open positions. And I'll link a video where I talk about that specifically, okay? And so now here on the screen here, okay, right there are 5 major scale shapes, right? I think that's what's on there. And also our 5 major chord shapes, the CAGED ones, okay? The CAGED ones. And so now they're related, okay? They're related, but how are they related? How are they related? So let's start with our first major scale shape right here, okay? Right there. And it corresponds to the C-shaped chord, all right? Which again, as per the CAGED system, is modeled after the C chord, okay, in open position, that one. And so let me play that for you, okay? I'm gonna play it for you. I didn't turn my amp on. No. Can't hear it, can you? Oh God, I'll go turn it on. Yeah! And so now if we zoom into this shape here, I don't even remember where I played it. We'll see just how and where that C-shaped chord is nestled right into there. Is this hitting the mic? And we can see just how it's built right into that first major scale shape. And so how does that work? How does it work? Yeah, I got hair and it's curled. Yeah, I got hair and it's curled. Well, this C-shaped chord here is built from a first, third, and fifth degree, right? And the major scale is made up of a first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh degree. Meaning the major scale is made up of, 4 extra notes, the second, the fourth, the sixth, and the seventh. And so all we did to this C-shaped major chord is add those missing 4 degrees. And then we get the major scale shape. I'm a little thirsty. Look at my lava lamp, it's not even laving. Lava's not laving today. And we call this first major scale shape the C-shaped major scale shape. All because it's modeled after that C-shaped chord, right? And by the way, when I say C-shaped, I'm not saying C major, okay? This isn't the C major chord or the C major scale. It's just called C-shaped because it's modeled after the C-shaped chord here. And then you can move this chord along with its overlap major scale shape anywhere on the fretboard. We can move it. Just mighty sweet, I'm bad with making feet. Everyone thinks that song is about something else, but it's really about mummies. It's really about a mummy takeover. That's why he says, well, mummy, that's mighty sweet, but I'm bad with wrapped up feet. It's about mummies. So let's go over the second major scale shape, and it corresponds to the A-shaped chord. This guy right here. Yeah. And so here's our second major scale shape. Yeah, it's so cute. And again, if we zoom into this shape, we could see just how and where that A-shaped chord is nestled into it, okay? It's embedded into it like a little embedder. And again, how does this happen? Well, the A-shaped major chord is made up of a first, second, no, that's not true. It's made up of a first, third, and fifth degree, and the major scale is made up of the first, and always, yeah, right? So we just added those extra missing 4 degrees to this shape here, and we get the major scale shape. Again, that we would call the A-shaped major scale because it's modeled after this A-shaped chord here. Want to see a little cake I made? Let me show you a little cake I made. Look at it. Look at this little cake I made. I put a bummer on it. I put it there. And now let's move on to the third major scale shape, and it corresponds to the G-shaped chord. Yeah. Again, within that major scale shape, we could see just how and where that G-shaped chord is nestled right into there. And that happens for the same reason. This is made up of a first, third, and fifth degree, and then we added the missing degrees to make a major scale, and then we got our major scale, okay? The fourth, are we on the fourth? Yeah. The fourth major scale shape, and it corresponds to the E-shaped chord. Yeah. And so here it is. Beautiful. And again, if we zoom in, we could see just how and where that E-shaped chord is nestled right into it, okay? And we derived the major scale from the shape for the same reasons. We added the extra missing scale degrees to this chord, and we made the scale shape, okay? And then we would call this major scale shape the E-shaped major scale because it's modeled after that E-shaped major chord. Be my bummer cake is a cake for me. And now for our last major scale shape, okay? It's modeled after the D-shaped chord. Yeah, it's modeled after the D-shaped chord, the what-shaped chord, the D-shaped chord, the what-shaped chord, the D-shaped chord. So here it is. Oh my God, it's so cute. And again, if we zoom into it, we can see just how and where that D-shaped chord is in there. I dropped my pick, oh dear. And so how I like to think about the CAGED system is like a Russian doll, okay? I've mentioned this before, but it's true. Okay. The major chord shapes, okay, the 5 of them, are like the littler doll inside of the bigger doll, which would be the major scale shape. Okay? They live inside, okay? That is pretty much it. So if ever you hear me say, you know, the A-shaped major scale, the C-shaped major, or whatever, that's what I mean, okay? That's what I mean. Okay, that's it. That's all. That's all I have to say, okay? That's it. I have nothing more to say ever again. You're great. Remember that. You have a cool hat on, and that's really cool. Okay? Someone ever tells you to take your hat off, you say, get out of my life and go to Costco. And then say, can I come? Because I really need some strawberries. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? At 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to resolve a Rubik's Cube on camera for the world to see. And also, not only that, but don't forget to go to meganchurchmusic.com and go take a look at the 70 Zen guitar ebooks. We got 2 of them, okay? We got the 70 Zen beginner guitar guide. That's going to help you in your beginner journey, okay? There it is. You see it? No, look at it go. And then we also have the 70 Zen Guitar Study ebook. That's a chord and scale and theory reference book, all organized in the CAGED system. And then we also got the Key to Music Theory World Tour course. It's a course where we go the absolute fundamentals of music. We talk about where keys come from, where scales come from, how we build chords from those scales, and how we organize everything into keys. It also comes in a PDF practice workbook. Yeah, it does. So that's all, everyone, okay? Get yourself a little peanut butter cake, such as this one, which is any cake with peanut butter on it. And that's all. Go about your day. Do some laundry. Call up your doctor. Get your weekly checkups. That's all, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bringing. Thanks for all that you do. Don't forget. You gotta go. You gotta go to the water parks. You gotta go to water parks because they got water and parks. Who doesn't like a water and a park? Who doesn't like a park and a water? Who doesn't like to go to a park submerged in water? Huh? Who doesn't like that as an excursion for your family? You go to a park and it's underwater. You bring your floaters. You bring your picnic basket. You bring your sunscreen. And then you go to a park submerged underwater. And that's a lot of fun. But you have to be careful because underwater is very dangerous. You know what there is underwater? You know what there is underwater? No oxygen. Okay? And you know who needs oxygen? You. And so you go to a park and it's submerged underwater and there's no oxygen in there. But you did bring a picnic basket. So,